It was September 25th, 2000. A man named Kevin was falling from the Golden Gate Bridge towards the ocean below. On the way down, his life flashed before his eyes. It was a fall that would surely end him. Suddenly, Kevin hit the water. A fall from that high was like hitting solid ground. He should have been a goner. He survived the impact but was not out of danger just yet. He was badly injured and was sinking. But just as Kevin thought he was about to die, he felt something touch him from beneath. He was being pushed towards the surface. But by what? To understand how Kevin ended up in the ocean beneath the Golden Gate Bridge, I think it's important to know a little bit about him. Kevin was just 19 years old that September in 2000 and was struggling from depression, bipolar disorder, and serious psychosis. He had boarded a bus with tears running down his face, and not one person stopped to ask him if he was okay or needed some help. Kevin reached the bridge with the intent that he was done, and there was nothing more for him in this life. But little did he know, his life was about to change forever. As Kevin fell into the freezing water, he was hit with sudden pain and was barely able to move. He was unsure exactly how he reached the surface. One minute, he was under the water, the next minute he was floating on the top. Kevin bobbed up and down in the water for a couple of minutes. Then he felt something brush up against his leg. He couldn't help but to think that he was about to be grabbed and pulled under the water and become a shark's dinner. After about another minute, he felt his leg being bumped again. Kevin immediately began punching at the water, as if to scare whatever was beneath him away. But it just kept circling under him, bumping him up and pushing him closer to shore. Kevin was sure that at any moment a shark would lift him out of the water, devouring him. That's when he noticed that whatever was bumping him was not going to eat him. In fact, it was trying to do the complete opposite. It was trying to save his life. The creature that Kevin believed to be a shark kept him afloat for hours by pushing him towards the surface. He was eventually spotted and rescued by the Coast Guard. What he initially thought was a shark was not a shark at all. But Kevin didn't know that yet. But if it wasn't a shark, then what was it? After making a full recovery, Kevin was invited on ABC's Primetime with John Quinones to tell his story. On the show, Kevin went on to tell how a shark had saved his life because, to his knowledge, that is what happened. During the show, hundreds of fans emailed giving their condolences and thoughts. But one email had stood out from all the others. It was from a man named Morgan. He wrote, "Kevin, I am so glad you were alive, as I was standing less than 2 feet away from you when you jumped. And by the way, it was not a shark, like you mentioned in the TV show. It was a sea lion, and I have pictures." Kevin's heart sank when he read the email. The whole time his protector was not a shark, but a sea lion. This made sense due to the behavior of the creature and the fact that he was not eaten. What happened next would shock Kevin's father. Kevin immediately took down his email address and phone number. He called Morgan and asked if he would email him the pictures he took. He obliged. But mistakenly, he gave Morgan his father's email address. Kevin's father was not prepared for, nor would he ever willingly want to see what came through to his inbox. He opened his email, clicked a button, and out popped a picture from bird's eye view of my near lifeless body laying on top of a circling sea lion. The picture was grotesque, morbid, and yet at the very same time, beautiful. Kevin's father was an emotional wreck, and he nearly fell out of his chair. When he composed himself, he showed Kevin the picture, and together they agreed that no one should see it. With the click of a button, it was gone. But was there really a sea lion? There is quite a bit of debate as to whether or not a sea lion really saved Kevin's life, or did he imagine it in his overwhelming state? There are many reporters that speculate there was no sea lion and Kevin was able to somehow save himself. But others claim there had to have been something, as Kevin was not in any condition to keep himself afloat. Kevin is now an American suicide prevention speaker and helps others by telling his story. To this day, Kevin swears there really was a sea lion. That saved his life that day.